I've forgotten how to write. I tried to write a sentence the other day.
Yeah.
It was
Holding a
awful.
pen is really funny. It's like,
Oh, it's like,
what's this?
Interesting. Look, my handwriting's bad anyway. It's really bad now.
A light up camel behind you. What is that?
It's not a camel. It's a reindeer.
I can't really make it out.
Welcome to the Other People's Kids podcast, a podcast about my dad and his friend Andy's adventures in fostering and adoption.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good.
You're looking very slender.
I'm not fit. I think it's just a black t-shirt slenderizes. I'm not actually slender.
Black is slimming.
You're wearing white, so you're like a marshmallow.
But you've been on the Christmas lunches. You've had 2 Christmas lunches so far.
3, I think, in total so far. And I've got another one Thursday, tomorrow, and one Friday. I am Christmas lunched out. It's very nice. Perk of the job. Eating a Christmas lunch. It's very nice.
They're nice new glasses.
They are very nice, aren't they? Yeah. They've returned, so I sent them back because they kept falling down my nose because my nose. They put can you see like pants on?
Yes.
So they now sit a bit higher on my nose and they don't slip. I've also got rubber things to stop them slipping off my ears.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome. Where have we been?
Where have we been?
It's been a long time.
The summer since the last time we podded. Let me just close that down. Yeah.
Oh my nose, goodness, it's a long time ago. Why
Autumn is
so long, Andy?
Well, let's delve into the reindeer in the room. Why was that, Joe?
The reindeer in the room. This is the reindeer in the room. That's my Christmas decoration.
What is it?
Why was it? I don't know. It's a lot of factors. I think I've been unwell. I've had a bit of an ongoing health issue. So I recently hit a certain age. I won't reveal the age. You can guess, 30, 25. Recently hit a milestone. It feels like I've met that milestone of entering middle age by being ill. So I've had like a long-term, couple of month-long kind of illness kind of thing going on, which has been really difficult, which made me very tired, not sleeping so well. So less energy for chatting and for editing, doing this kind of thing. And also work's just been really busy, which has been great. Family life, fostering, been a dad of teenagers. Yeah, and I think I also, if I'm honest, I hit a bit of I think doing this YouTube thing is hard work, isn't it? Because we make all these videos and they don't always get watched by that many people. I'll beep that out. I kind of felt a bit despondent. I hit a bit of a wall where I was like, this is hard work. No one's really listening. But then interestingly, in the last 3 months when we've not been doing it, I've had quite a few conversations with people who've listened to the podcast, who've watched us, and it's helped them. So people considering adoption or in the adoption process, people just found it entertaining. So that's been quite encouraging. So that's kind of led me back. So that's why we're here. We did film one as well, didn't we? We have filmed.
Will that one go out after this one, do you think, or go out before? Maybe it should go out after.
I think it should go out after. So what did we do, Andy? What was the episode?
We went to go and see a stand-up comedian in a southeast of England location, and we drove there in a motor vehicle, and we thought, a bit like, car share karaoke or whatever it's called, carpool karaoke. We filmed ourselves chatting as I was driving, and you were very nervous, very nervous passenger, weren't you?
There's a reason for that, isn't there?
I'm a very safe driver. I've never crashed.
Well, if you want to find out, watch the next episode when we publish it. So it was your idea, wasn't it? But I think my setting up of the camera didn't go so well, so it looks a bit odd, the footage, but it kind of worked. You were a very jerky driver. That made me feel a bit sick.
I enjoyed it was just a different podcast, wasn't it? So I mean, a lot of people listen to us on audio, so they won't appreciate the visual.
The visual don't appreciate our beauty. Because I remember that was the tricky thing, finding an angle in a car that isn't below us, highlighting multiple chins and man boobs. They're not easy. But we'll let the viewer decide. So do look it up. But we'll put it out.
Well, I think since the last time we podded, I probably have gone to the doctors and had my cholesterol tested. And it's quite high. because it runs in the family quite high cholesterol. So I've been very good. I'm very a savoury tooth rather than a sweet tooth. So I love things like bacon, sausages, cheese. So I've been very good generally.
So is there a way of knowing when your cholesterol's getting better? Do you have to wait for the next blood test?
You have to have a blood test. I guess you could have a home kit, but I will just book another test with the GP in the new year. It's a bit like a video game because it's just numbers. If the number's going down, then you're winning. It's like a downwards trajectory.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably doing the opposite way with the upward of numbers. But more weight, more waist inches. It's hard, isn't it? I think it's something about our age. I suppose I'm more aware now than I was, say, a few years ago. I still felt relatively young. I am getting older. I'm kind of thinking about responsibilities for kids and your family and being able to work and stay healthy. It becomes a bigger thing in your mind, doesn't it?
It does, and you've had a big birthday since the last time we pod. Do you want to talk about that?
I've had a big birthday, yeah, 30 years of age.
30 plus 10.
30 plus 10. I was mid-30s for a long time. Yeah, no, it does play on your mind. I think it's important to think about health because we talked in this podcast about mental health before, but also it's not separate to physical health. I think it's all kind of tied in. So when I'm physically healthier, I tend to be mentally healthier and vice versa. I don't know. Are you the same? Well, you're not a stress eater, are you? You're a stress not eater.
Yes. No. Food is generally okay with me. I think I do feel generally better when I'm exercising more. But this time of year, mate, I used to go jogging in the summer, but I don't want to go jogging at the moment. It's just so
quite hard.
Dank.
Yeah, I did before my medical issues kicked in. I was walking for a couple of months. I was doing losing a bit of weight.
Yeah.
And so it was a combination of being a bit ill, but also the tale of three coats, which you kind of know a bit about. So I have a slight issue where if I need to wear if I do a coat that fits correctly is one thing. Yeah, I do plastic. I can't wear plastic coats. I just get so sweaty. So I've now found or discovered soft shell. So I'm now a soft shell coat wearer. It gives you a bit of windproof, bit of cold resistance, but also a bit of water resistance, and it's comfortable and breathable. So I recommend soft shell coats because there is a what's the word? Not a Rudolph, not a reindeer. There's another thing in the room. So you have been very healthy on your low cholesterol diet, except for one weekend recently, haven't you? So, well, we'll probably talk about that one weekend.
To celebrate said birthday, you and I and our good friend of the podcast, Craig, all went abroad to a European destination. I guess we could say Milan.
We could say Milan.
We don't live there. And we had a lovely weekend. I still recall and looking at the photos now. It was just a lovely couple of days.
It was lovely. I think we had grand plans to record a podcast internationally, didn't we?
Yes.
And I think by the time we got there, we just couldn't be bothered.
I think the faff levels were very, very low.
I know these YouTubers who video themselves going all over the world and doing all this stuff. I don't know how they do it. In terms of equipment, and I think we were just hanging out, weren't we?
But we didn't overplan. We had some things to do every day, but it's a very slow pace.
So what was your highlight, Andy, of the 3 days?
I enjoyed it all. I enjoyed going to the cafes in the morning, having a macchiato or a cappuccino and a cornetto or a croissant. And then there's fridge, but we do have them in Italy. And then what did we do for lunches? I can't remember now. We just had...
I remember at one point we just bought loads of cured meat and olive bread and just sort of
not good
up and eating it.
We had spaghetti. We had spaghetti one.
Well, no, that's when we first got there because they close everything down, don't they, at 2:30? So we were looking for a late lunch. And they were closing everything down for 3 hours. I was like, what's this about? I want to eat.
Very European, having a bit of a siesta.
Spaghetti. I had a really nice pizza. Probably my favourite pizza I've ever had was there, which is
and our friend had the 4 cheese pizzas, and it was a bit dodgy.
Yeah, our friend.
Too many cheese.
I had a lovely time. Would you like to know my highlights?
Yes.
My highlight, I think what I most liked was walking around in the evening because it was very sort of slightly Christmassy, festive, cold, lots of beautiful lights, and going outside the is it the Duomo
Duomo.
Big church, Duomo. Sorry, church expert. Yeah, I loved it. It was lovely. It was really nice. We went to the Last Supper, which was pretty special to see most famous paintings in the world.
Yeah.
And, it was lovely. I really enjoyed it. I did notice, I think, like we have this every time we go away together. We did for the sort of 3 to 4 weeks afterwards, not really have any contact or friendship. So I think we have an intensive period of seeing each other. And we need a bit of a break.
I mean, that period was only like 2.5 days, but that was probably enough.
That was enough. I think I don't know. I think it was the snoring that did for me. I think we both snore, but at different times of the night. So
yes,
you get to sleep quicker than before your eyes are closed. You're asleep, and then you start snoring. That winds me up, and I don't get to sleep. And then by the time I get to sleep, I'm on my back 'cause I'm so exhausted. Then you're woken up in the morning early by me snoring. So it's not a good combo.
But the first night, we couldn't find out where the blind was. So our room was like lighter than the sun. So that was a terrible night's sleep.
Well, I think it was really obvious there was a blind and a shutter, but we were just too stupid to see it.
Yeah.
Because we had trams going by. We had all the shops outside with their lights blaring. It wasn't a great sleep. But we went cheap on accommodation.
Yeah, I think probably we're at the stage of life where, particularly you do need a good night's sleep in order to function, because you do have the tendency just to walk away from Craig and I, just leave us.
I would do that anyway. I sometimes need my solo time, but I just disappear on my own for a bit. So I think this time I managed that quite well, because I went up in the mornings, didn't I? I went while you were sleeping in. I went off on my own, practiced my Italian. Por favor. Yeah, so it was a really lovely time. We're looking forward to it. So we probably can't really discuss future plans because our significant others may listen. We don't want them to know that we're secretly planning to go to Australia next month.
We have thought about where else we could go.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to build up to a 50th birthday sort of trip. That's 10 years away.
Not for all of us.
Andy, what about Christmas then? We are sort of mid-December now. We're already at that stage. So at work, I'm already at that stage where quite regularly people will say, "Oh, let's do that in January." But if you get that, if you put off the January, I don't mind. I do it as well because I can't possibly conceive any new work or thought other than just existing things pre-Christmas. So how are you feeling in the lead up to Christmas?
I'm feeling fine. Yeah, kind of work-wise, it's a bit of an odd time of year, isn't it? I should say, any kind of fresh work, any really important meetings, you're just kicking it into January touch now, which is quite nice. And my clientele, they tend to be quite quiet this time of year, so I do get a lot of work done this time. So I'm going to be working up to the 23rd, 24th. I'm like powering on.
Yeah, I'm working up to Christmas Eve.
The good lady wife is also finishing a master's dissertation.
Wow.
So she's got to hand her last thing in a week on Friday, and that'd be it. That'd be her last thing. So that's been quite, doing that and raising a family and looking after me, that kind of thing. Is a lot of work for.
So when she finishes that, she passes. Does she become like a master of the universe? Is that the title? Like master of the universe? Is that?
I mean, definitely master of the household. I'm not sure of the universe.
Yeah, not master of the universe.
She has an MSc after her name.
That's quite exciting, isn't it? I don't have an MSc. I've got a postgraduate certificate of education. I've got that. I don't have the masters though. Oh well done to Mrs. Andy.
Well, it's still plenty of years yet in you, Joe. You could do a masters.
No, I don't. No, I can't be bothered.
My office, which is separate from the house down there, becomes Christmas zone.
Me too.
In the sense that I've got all the kids' presents in various Amazon boxes. I've got all the Christmas Prosecco, chilling. So tonight I'll be wrapping presents, and they're like the lightest sleepers, my kids. So I can't get presents from my room downstairs to wrap them. I need to store them in my office. So when they're asleep, I need to tiptoe outside to my office and kind of bring them in and do some wrapping tonight.
Well, do you want to see? I'm exactly the same. So behind me, I know it's a bit blurred.
I can see. Yeah.
This is a pile of stuff that I need to wrap, and we keep it in here. One of the big boxes over that side you can't see. Presents. It's very exciting. So do your kids cope with Christmas okay? Is it kind of a time of year where it's all really happy and peaceful and Or can it be stressful?
There's a lot of excitement, as common in most households. There has been a realization that they've been with us for 7 years now, and they've identified some real milestones, like traditions we do. So every Christmas Eve, we will drive around in the car and go around the estates and look at all the Christmas lights. That's one kind of milestone.
Yeah.
We always go for really expensive afternoon tea with Santa. How much would you spend for like a plate of sandwiches and hula hoops for them and like a cream tea for an adult?
Well, like a scone jam.
Yeah. How much do you think?
With
per
tea
person?
and coffee included?
Yeah, a pot of tea.
20 quid.
Oh, that's quite no cheaper than that. But not much cheaper for that.
15?
£15, I think. Yeah.
That's not that bad. You're getting the experience. Is it on one of those those pyramid things, like the sandwiches and the scones and the cakes, all in like the
Yeah, they're called a tiered stand.
Tiered stand. I love a tiered.
Yeah. The kids go out to like a little porter cabin and meet Santa and get a present as well. So that's quite nice.
Because he lives in a porter cabin, obviously.
It lives in a porter cabin. So if we didn't do that, there'd be words from the kids like, we're not doing one of our Christmas milestones and we're not happy about it. So that's good that they've identified and seen some key things they enjoy about the family Christmas, which is great.
I was going to say, I would love to eat all my meals on a tiered stand.
Would you?
I could have at the bottom, I'd have the main.
Yes.
And then I'd have like the sort of, well, no, wait a minute. A dessert would be on top, wouldn't it? So maybe start in the middle, dessert at the top.
Aperitif.
All comes along, yeah. And then you can just be lovely. But Christmas is because I'm always, if I think back to my days of working with the company where I did sort of work about emotional health and mental health and things, we used to talk a lot about how dysregulation can be from negative and positive experiences. Actually, children particularly have issues with regulation, emotional resilience and things. You know, when difficult things happen, they can be triggered, but also they can kind of spill over with joy almost and become dysregulated because they're so happy or they're so excited. Is that something you found with your kids?
I wouldn't say necessarily, no. Something that is related is the concept of waiting. Like people from trauma, dysregulation, they cannot wait. So if they know there is a present in the cupboard and they know that fact, they have to have it now and then.
I noticed that actually on our trip to Italy, a really good bit of parenting that you did, that I think your son wanted a particular kind of toy, doing like an army toy or something.
Yes.
So you'd already had a discussion about what he would like, so there's less uncertainty. And then when you phoned him whilst there, you told him you bought it. Well, you said, I think you asked, he said, do you want to know what I bought you? And he said yes. And then you told him. And then I think on the way back in the car or something, after we landed, he was talking to you and just saying, you got my turn. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good way of managing his. Yeah, so he finds it difficult to wait to be, and uncertainty is sort of not knowing.
It is uncertainty. Like if I had promised him a toy, he'll be expecting a toy. So if I don't come back with a toy, goodness.
And he likes to know what it is, ideally, as well.
I think so. And I think to the normal parent, we might think, oh, that spoils the surprise. But actually, not knowing is just so unbearable. It doesn't really matter. So just loosely. How is it having foster children and your own children at Christmas time? Is that a big thing? Is it complicated?
It's lovely. I mean, depending on the age. So at the moment, we've got a very young child. So it's really lovely. So they, it's their first Christmas. It's all new. We get them presents. Sometimes there can be some difficulty around contact because obviously birth parents still want contact and they want it as close to Christmas as possible. And we want to see family. So you get a few issues around that sometimes. When we've had children a bit older, I think it is harder when they've experienced Christmas in other households in different ways. So it's trying to sort of help them enjoy Christmas, not feel so sad about what they've missed, have some of their traditions as well, make them feel safe. Again, thinking about, family time and whether it's a video call or whether it's a phone call on Christmas morning. So it's a bit more complicated. Generally, we've always had really lovely Christmases with the children we've had stay with us. And we are in a really lovely position that we're in contact with most of the children we fostered over the last 12 years. So we send presents and often meet up with some of them as well. So some of the families where the children have gone to, so usually in kinship or connected persons, are some of our closest friends. They're just lovely people we love to see. So we look forward and often see them over Christmas. So we are looking forward to that.
And you're obviously allowed to buy presents for the foster children. I assume that's fine.
Yeah, I think ones we previously fostered, you mean?
No, well, existing and previous, yeah.
I should hope you were encouraged to, yeah.
You're encouraged to.
Oh.
I don't know. Do you get an allowance for that?
Well, we are given extra allowance.
Oh, hello. We get an allowance, do we?
Most foster, you get your standard allowance. You usually get an allowance sometimes before summer, sometimes before Christmas, and before their birthday. Just additional money to spend on them, basically.
Additional money.
Additional money, I know. So, of course, yeah. So we want them to have the same experience as our children, really.
And do the birth parents, do they send you presents as well to give to the children on Christmas Day? Does that?
Yeah, usually on their final sort of family time beforehand, they'll give some presents to, or they'll open them together with them then.
Okay.
And it depends how they want to do it. We've had various. Christmas is generally a lovely time of year. I mean, it can be tricky. So statistically, children coming into care, one of the sort of times where it's more likely to happen is Christmas. No, when I used to work in schools, it would often be just for the Christmas holidays. There could be more likely to be children coming into care for various reasons. The pressure of the holiday, the kind of expectations around spending. We know there can be more drinking over the holidays, so maybe more violence and that sort of stuff. So sadly, Christmas is sometimes also when more children are coming into care as well.
Right. Okay. I no longer go rogue buying presents for the wife.
Oh yeah, no, I stopped doing that for a while.
I bought her a handbag once and she returned it.
Was it that bad?
It was a really nice brand. I thought it was a really nice brand. It was from a reputable outlet.
Was it the brand or the look of the bag or the fact it was a bag at all? That was the issue.
I think it was the style of the bag. I think it was too small. I went for is it a clutch?
I don't know what that means. That's something on a car, isn't it? A clutch?
A small thing she holds. And she said she doesn't hold bags. She has them over her shoulder. So.
Oh, dear.
So I stick to the list now. You stick to the list.
Yeah. We're similar. So my wife isn't that much of a gifty person. My love language, if you like that sort of thing, is very much gifts. I like stuff.
Yes,
stuff.
It is.
Love things, gadgets.
Yes.
But my wife's is not. It's like acts of service and sort of doing things. So I bought some theatre tickets this year, some books that she likes, stuff like that. But yeah, no, very much we have a bit of a conversation. I tend to buy my own present as well.
Do you? Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So this year I've already had one. So glasses was one, my new glasses.
That's your Christmas present?
Well, it's all part of it, isn't it? That justifies spending more than I normally would. Yeah.
I picked them up for you.
You did. So this is another extension. So we were in Brighton, weren't we? Just doing a little bit of shopping. And I said, do you like these glasses? And you said, yes, I like them. So I felt that was enough agreement that these were a good choice. Without checking with my wife. Error. She's not such a fan of these.
Am I in her bag books now?
You are, yeah. So for 2 years, you're in the bad books until I change them again. I really like them. I'm trying to make a step company. A bit different. The next episode, I'm going to say something quite controversial.
Oh,
I haven't yet decided what it's going to be. But I thought if we say something a bit edgy, we might get people listening. We can't go straight to that. Oh my goodness! I was. I don't think we can go straight to that. I think that's a bit too controversial.
What's the next step? Down from that. Should there be a third term now for someone who doesn't identify as paternal or maternal?
Alternal.
Other Ertl.
Autumnal. I don't know.
Autumnal.
So Andy, why should someone listen next week? So we're going to be controversial.
We're straying a topic here. We're going to wear our Christmas jumpers.
We're going to wear our Christmas jumpers. We're going to be controversial. What else? One more thing. What can we do to bring?
We're going to be both stoned.
They've stoned. We could do that, couldn't we? Shall we bring a drink?
Oh, a festive drink.
Yeah, we'll bring a festive drink. We'll see who's got the best festive drink. Should we say goodbye?
Thanks for listening.
To be honest, not many people watch the pod. Even less people get to this point of the pod, which is the end of the pod. So we could say any old thing. It wouldn't really matter.
You still enjoying your Fraser Cup?
I am enjoying my Fraser Cup. It's right here. I regularly drink from it.
Oh, lovely.
It's also got a clip in at the moment.
Why?
A clip? I don't know. Might need a clip.
So
I was given 2 mugs this year. So I was given the Fraser mug from you because we're our mutual love of Fraser, Cafe Nervosa. I was also given this by my work colleagues.
Ask me about my podcast. Oh,
yeah,
good.
Should.
We got 57 subscribers. That feels like that's down, isn't it?